Check. 1, 2, 3.
The D-Brief. This is the D-Brief.
Go. Your guide to Detroit.
Your guide to Detroit's
arts and entertainment scene.
This is the D-Brief.
Hello and welcome to the Debrief, your podcast for Detroit concerts, comedy, plays, food, drink, and more. It is Wednesday, January 16th, 2019, and I am Seth Ressler.
I'm Becky Scarcello.
And look, we're recording live at Nektar Meadery, the tap room here in Ferndale. Give it up, everybody who's watching this podcast. We are excited to have all of you. Here's the way it works. I am the new guy to Detroit. I've been here for about 3 years or so.
And I'm the native. I won't say old woman.
You've been here a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And here's what's going to happen in this episode. We're going to talk to Mary Stallworth of the Geisha Girls Pop-Up Sushi. They're over here in the back. They're serving sushi up for everybody. It's fantastic. I already had some. You?
Oh, yeah. It's delicious. Delicious. We're also going to talk about the 31st annual North American Auto Show.
Yeah, this is the big week. This is Auto Show, right?
It is.
And also, don't forget, on Thursday, that's tomorrow, I've got an interview with John Witz, the guy behind Winter Blast. They're splitting it into 4 free weekends
Yeah,
this
it's
year.
amazing. From one weekend to 4.
We also want to thank Miranda, Joel, and CJ here at Nektar Meadery for everything that they're doing to help us put this live show together. So thank you to them. Let's get into the show.
This is the D-Brief.
Want more?
Your guide to Detroit's arts and entertainment scene.
Go to the debriefdetroit.com.
All right, our co-host for today's episode is a guy who, his name is Magic. He performs magic. He's done over 13,000 live performances in his lifetime. He does about 400 live performances a year. He's performed with, 4 among others, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, the Pittsburgh Steelers, George Strait, the Rolling Stones, Robin Leach, Mario Andretti, Lisa Gibbons, and more. Please welcome back Jasen Magic. Give him a big round of applause.
Thank you. I can't believe I got invited back.
I know.
I thought I ruined it.
I forgot to ask you last time, is that your real name?
Okay, so people always ask, Jasen Magic, you obviously changed your name, and I did, but David Magic didn't sound right, so Jasen Magic.
Jasen with an E.
Yes, I can't believe you guys invited me back.
Set it
I'm
apart.
going to totally do my best to not butcher this.
I got to say, the crowd loves you. You're sitting here working your magic tricks between shows here, and everybody at
that's what I do.
Just loves it.
That's what I do. Everybody loves magic.
That's how you get the 400 a year.
Now, you've been talking, very self-consciously, very, like magic.
Self-deprecating.
Something that is not the thing that the cool kids do. I gotta ask, has magic had a resurgence? Because you look at guys like Neil Patrick Harris, you look at the guy who just won America's Got Talent this year. It was a magician.
David Blaine,
He didn't win.
No, but he's, yeah.
But is magic cool? I mean, is it?
Well, magic's never been cool. However, it's gotten more attention within the last decade with social media. There's a lot of cool shows out like Fool Us. Penn and Teller have been working really hard and getting magicians that you'd never hear of with some national attention. And, of course, America's Got Talent. Shin Lim, who won. He's
amazing.
It's unreal. It's unreal what he does with his hair. It's just unbelievable.
It is fantastic.
How much product he uses. It's phenomenal. His sleight of hand is it's unreal. Which is why I do comedy in my show, because I don't want to put in the hours that a lot of these guys like Shin.
What do you look?
Well, your hair looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah.
What are you looking at when you're watching other magicians?
When I'm watching other magicians, I'm usually looking at personality. I want to see, are these guys entertaining? Because the audience doesn't care about what trick. They know you're going to try to fool them, but it's not about fooling you. It's about entertaining you. So I'll watch guys that I think are entertaining. And I know I mentioned in the last show, there's a few of my role models that I think are very entertaining. Guys like Copperfield, Penn and Teller, David Blaine, very entertaining. Some people have a drier type of personality, and some are just really, wild and out there. And I tend to be a little more wild and out there.
So that's a legitimate criticism. When you see America's Got Talent, for example, every once in a while I'll hear somebody like Howie or Simon say, you need to have more showmanship. The trick was good, But there needs to be more of a stage presence or something. Like
Exactly. You could have the best looking car in the parking lot, but you want one that's going to go from 0 to 60 in the time that you want. You just want performance. That's what you want. It's all about show. And in my opinion, I could be completely wrong.
So what do you think that is that people like to be tricked? They like to suspend, belief for a while. What is that phenomenon?
Why do I think that is?
Yeah.
Well, magic is the second oldest form of entertainment, a form of business, right behind podcasters. I think they go way back.
Oh, there's ancient artifacts.
Oh, they go way back.
Yeah.
I've seen hieroglyphics. And I'm like, are those two sticks? And they're like, no, those are podcasters.
Cain killed Abel because he was getting more downloads.
I think people.
Right.
I think people need to know that they don't know everything.
Yeah. I was watching you work the crowd, and you said something that I thought was interesting. You said there's a difference between magic and a trick. What's the difference?
About 2,000 a night. No, the difference is the trick triggers the emotion, and I think, to me, the emotion is the magic. I'm not doing a magic trick. I'm doing a trick that does magic, if that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't make sense, drink some of these ciders and be Nektar.
You're blowing my mind right here.
All right, well, let's get into the show. Jason, we're glad you're here with us. Let's do it.
The D.
Three, Detroit.
Becky, let's talk about food and drink. What's happening?
I love to talk about food and drink. So, do you think names of foods matter to you? Does it affect how you feel about it? So one of the most popular dishes in Michigan is getting a name change.
Yes.
Has anybody had the crack fries at Hopcat?
Round of applause if
Yes.
you've had the crack fries at Hopcat.
Okay.
All right, that's quite a few.
A while ago, they decided, that really wasn't the best intentioned name. Crack's addictive. That's no joke. There's, it's a problem. So they said, we got to rename these. So just this morning, Monday morning as we're recording this, they renamed them Cosmic Fries. So that is a music reference. Do you know it?
A cosmic thing, B-52s?
Nope. It's from Frank Zappa.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So the founder.
Wait a minute. This is so they got rid of the name Crack Fries because it was just.
Not PC.
It was offensive.
Offensive for 11 years ago when they made it, and now they're like, that really wasn't our intent. So.
But it wasn't offensive to fries. I think it was the potatoes because.
I think exactly.
No, because a week later they were going to do a breakfast potato, but there was heroin hash. I think.
It was
and they were
something
like,
like that.
That's
too.
yeah,
That's over the top.
It was too much.
This is something we hear about in comedy all the time. Is this a thing in magic? Is there such thing as PC backlash?
Yeah.
Not more so for magic, but for performers.
What do you
Performers that speak.
Comedians,
comedians,
actors.
anybody who is speaking, you got to be very careful. I mean, look at
more Penn than Teller, then, or
just anybody in general who's speaking. Like I know, I've got magician friends that dub themselves as comic magicians, like myself. I think I add a little funny to the magic. But there's a lot of times where I'll say something where people will say, that really wasn't funny. And I'm like, my kids aren't really in my car, in the trunk. But that's technically, you know what I mean? And I'll make a joke, and they'll look at me like, and I'm like, I cracked a window. And they'll still look at me like, it's not a joke. Well, it's a joke.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't have kids in my car. They're in my basement on chains. But that's different because I don't want them to get away. Listen, the point, stop judging me. It's a joke. It comes
but
down
people
to it
are
as
saying
a
that's
joke.
in poor taste, or it just feels slimy or something.
Right, but mayonnaise on a hamburger is bad taste.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
But
cracked
that's your
fries
thing.
are not bad taste.
Those are good
Cracked
taste.
fries taste good.
And they use cracked pepper seasoning, so there was also like a double entendre with the crack. But
Yeah, people just got weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cosmic Fries now. I wonder how long it will take for people to actually call them that.
But Pete has never gotten angry at you for like pulling a rabbit out of a hat or anything. It's
Yeah.
nothing like that.
Oh, no.
No.
I have a joke, but I can't say it.
Why? Because it's not podcast friendly?
It is not podcast
Okay,
friendly.
so stay after the show.
See me in the parking
We'll
lot.
tell you the
Bonus episode.
Yeah. So what about restaurants that keep changing? You know, we always have these spots around town where it's like a venue that no matter what they do, it doesn't seem to quite click. So we'll see what happens with this third iteration of a place in Southwest Detroit. I know it's a place you liked, Fist of Curry.
Yeah, I love that place.
And
That place was only there for a couple of months.
8 months maybe, and prior to that was the Huron Room. So now it's going to be Peso, which is a modern Mexican, quicker restaurant. So they're going to have a bunch of dishes that you can have served as a burrito, a torta, or just on a plate. They're going to have Mexican soups. They're going to have a bunch of Mexican
But
beers.
wait, this is Mexican
It's
town.
yeah. So
They're going to put a Mexican restaurant in Mexican town?
That's what I was
mean,
thinking. Yeah,
But faster?
but faster.
But not Taco Bell fast.
No, not Chipotle. So
Chipotle's not that fast.
no, that's true. So you got to choose stuff. But there's going to be a mural in there by Freddie Diaz, who's like Southwest Freddie. I mean, he's got murals everywhere. So we wish them luck. It's In-Laws Hospitality who own Green Dot. And then the co-owner is Jose Maldonado. So we'll see.
So this
Good
isn't
luck.
even the same guys who owned Fist of Curry.
It is half
Oh,
of
it
that.
is.
It's
Oh, it
half
is.
of that with a collaboration.
I liked Fist of Curry. I
So
don't know,
we'll see what happens with Peso. So we're here in Ferndale. I thought we should talk about what's coming up next. There's a spot that probably you don't even know. You probably wouldn't even drive by, but it's basically 696 at the Bermuda exit. There's a whole bunch of buildings on a 13-acre brownfield site. So it's being redeveloped. They started kind of quietly in 2017. It's going to be turned into the Iron Ridge Marketplace. So an entertainment retail destination. They've got some businesses there, a 3D printing place, a Pulse Fitness place, but the next big news is they're going to be a brewery, which originally was in the 1930s, so I always like those kind of stories when something is actually taken back to what it used to be. So there'll be a brewery there, a coffee shop, a new restaurant. I'm kind of thinking it's similar to that Cole Street area in Birmingham, so we'll see. So it's a hop, skip, and a jump from where we are here at the Meadery, so something to look forward to in this part of town.
For you guys, that's Royal Oak and Birmingham are rough neighborhoods. I try to stay away. I keep my doors locked.
I know.
I was like, Birmingham, roll those windows up.
Well, and you know what's really shady is the whole no man's land between downtown Ferndale and downtown Royal Oak.
Yeah, let's not
it's
talk about
just,
that.
Yeah, it's pretty
We have kids
rough.
listening.
So another cocktail lounge. Oh my gosh, how many more craft cocktail places can
I
there
know.
be?
Your
But-
life is life is rough.
It is really rough because now I'm going to have to go try more cocktails. The Detroit Club at Fort Street in Cass downtown, private club, but they're going to have a cocktail lounge called the Library, which I think is great too because you can be like, I'm going to head out to the library. And you're really just going to go drink cocktails. But this will be open to
Wait,
the
do
public.
you live with your parents? Like, why?
Not me
why
personally.
is that a thing?
Not me personally. I don't. But also, I mean, even if you don't live with your parents, it becomes not acceptable to go out, every day of the week for cocktails. So that's opening Friday. So you want to check that out. The Library at the Detroit Club.
All right, coming up in just a few, we'll tell you what's going on with the auto show.
The Brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to Mary Stallworth of Geisha Girls Pop-Up Sushi. She's been serving sushi all night long in the back here. This is not something I've seen before, pop-up sushi. Mary, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, let's start with this. How did you get started in pop-up sushi?
I wanted to have my own business. I wanted to still cook, and I wanted to do something creative, and sushi is such a great creative outlet. It was really hard for me to get a job in a traditional sushi bar or restaurant, just because all the social issues that a woman faces in an industry like that that's male-dominated. So the best thing for me to do was just get out there and just do my own thing and do pop-ups. And places like Miranda and B Nektar gave me the opportunity to do that. Right, and I don't know, sushi is just it just lends naturally to pop-ups. I think it might even have been an original pop-up back in the day when the Chinese sailors used to come back from the ships and they used to just set up on the oceans right there and just make them sushi. So
I'm really impressed that you just make everything fresh for each order. You're sitting there rolling. I mean, this is a physical business.
Yeah, and it's so creative because I don't ever have to plate anything the same. I can plate it this way. I can put a different topping on it. I can shake the sesame seeds on it if I want differently.
So where else can people find you? Where have you been popping up?
I pop up at the Detroit City Distillery in the Easter Market. I pop up in Midtown at the Griot Music Lounge. And here at B Nektar, woo, fabulous Ferndale.
I got to ask about something. What is naked sushi?
Yeah, we saw a YouTube video.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that video. That's hot.
Thank you.
That was a different video. Don't listen to him.
Naked sushi.
yeah.
Naked sushi.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we get naked and eat sushi. Hey. No,
What?
just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's actually called Naya Tomori. It's an old Japanese tradition. It's when the samurais used to win a huge battle, and it was the highest form of celebration. And they would go to the geisha house after the battle, and there would be a bunch of geisha girls laid out with sushi and all the fixins, if you will. And it was just the highest form of celebration for a battle won by the samurais, and it's considered a high art form. So fast forward it to 2019 now, and in America, and I'm doing naked sushi. And I use a lot of minority models. They have to be flat-chested, of course, because,
A tray effect, yes.
So that's one, where the flat-chested women, they get the...
Or men, or magician men.
Magician.
I have a flat.
I don't think you could lay still long enough.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
Pays $50 an hour, though. Hey.
that's not bad.
That's more than I made last week, so it's good.
Yeah, so it's a really fun event. It's interactive. Some people will actually, take the sushi off of the model, but a lot of times I'll have a lot of sushi laid out around the model so that people can just go up to the installation and go ahead and grab sushi.
And where do you do the naked sushi?
It depends. The last one I did it with Chef Key over there, hey, from Fat Vegan Pop-Ups. We did it at the Crowfoot in Pontiac, which was really fun. It was multi-levels. And she actually had some body artists running around there. That was so cool. After they did the body artists, they were running around naked with all the body art on them. And we had the naked sushi upstairs, and that was a really good event.
Where was this at again?
At the Crowfoot in Pontiac.
Do they need a magician to add? You'd have to be naked, though.
I'll make sushi disappear. Yeah.
This feels like it could be a calendar, though, doesn't it?
A calendar? Sushi, naked sushi of the month?
Let me ask, can you pair sushi with, for example, meads?
Oh,
Is there a right way to do that?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
What are some tips? What are you trying to do when you...
Well, I don't do traditional sushi, almost anti-sushi, if you will. But I know the traditional ways of sushi. That's why I'm able to break those traditions. I make my sushi for the American palate. So there's a lot of fried food, a lot of cream cheese. The only raw fish I use is spicy tuna. So whenever people hear about me having sushi and doing it at the pop-ups is so much easier for me to introduce sushi to people who don't normally would eat sushi because it's raw fish. But one of my most popular rolls is a chicken roll. And I do a pinko chicken roll where there's, chicken inside sushi. And chicken sushi. I'm like, yep, try it.
Right.
And it's authentic to me because my dad's African American and my mother's Japanese. So that's an authentic roll. It's a soul sushi roll, so good.
Yeah, some fusion going on.
Fusion
Yeah.
roll.
Well, Mary, thank you so much for coming up here to join us. And let's also thank Wade,
Thanks
who's
for
back
having
there
us.
with you and serving up sushi. Big round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Applause for Mary Stallworth.
Before you go, Mary, where can people follow you and find their
Yes,
next
please.
pop-ups?
Follow me on Facebook as Geisha Girls, and then on Instagram, I'm Geisha Girls Detroit, and all my information on my pop-ups. I do about 4 or 5 pop-ups a week around Detroit, and only here in Ferndale at B Nektar.
Woo! All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mary. Coming up in just a moment, we'll tell you about the figure skating championships that are coming to the Detroit area.
This is the deep
Breathe.
All right, the 31st Annual North American International Auto Show. Who's going? Anybody here going to the auto show? Yeah, a couple of hands up in the air, right? Going for work, going for pleasure? Pleasure. That's what we like to hear. This is the last year before it moves. It's moving to June.
Yeah. It's always like traditionally the coldest weekend of the year.
Yeah.
Swear.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
I got to tell you, so, one of the reasons I think they're moving it is weather, but one of the other reasons is CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. In Vegas. I was there last week, and I think this is a place where the autos weren't 5 years ago. And now they show up. They've essentially taken over the North Hall of Vegas. And so it just made more sense for the auto show here to move. But what's going on with the auto show? The ultra luxury event, I'm sorry, Becky, is already over. The one that they do at the MGM Grand with the $10 million collection of the most acclaimed automobiles that the world has to offer. Aston Martin, Bentley, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, Rolls-Royce. Is that what you're...
That's what I'm into, yeah.
I know. January 14th through the 17th, the Automobile D, which is automobility. I mean, a lot of these car companies are trying to rebrand themselves as mobility companies.
Right, driverless.
Because they realize that people are, whether it's autonomous vehicles, whether it's ride sharing, whether it's car sharing. We've talked about the scooters that are showing up. You've seen these. Have you been on one of these scooters, either of you? Jason?
I haven't.
No, I don't have any scooter jokes. Keep moving.
Darn, okay. Pass.
So they're working really hard to be automobility companies. But also on the 18th, there's an after party at the Foundation Hotel with Horizon and DJ Thornstriker.
Now this is important because the charity preview. I know. You've been? You've worked.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Seth, you've not been.
I have not.
So this is like a $400 plus ticket. So not a lot of people go unless it's like with work or, they're really feeling philanthropic. The money goes to 10 different charities. So it's kind of inaccessible for, your average person. So to have a free party that's associated with it, that's exactly across the street from Kobo, is really cool of the Foundation Hotel. So if you want to be a part of it but don't want to pay the bucks to go to the charity preview, you can still get all dolled up. It's black tie.
Is Beyonce going to be there?
Probably. Probably. And you can go and be part of the scene and still, hang out at the hotel.
Jason, you ever worked the auto show?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I had about a 10-year stint where I did auto shows across the country. I was put into a display, one of the GM displays, and I was their magician that talked product. I harassed people. Get over here. Let me show you a magic trick. Now check out this Chevrolet. And
really, what is it like to work an auto show? Is that a good gig to have?
I mean, you're working. If you like working, I don't like working, so I like screwing around.
Did you have to memorize scripts about the actual features of the cars?
Oh yeah, it wasn't just a complete...
And then you fit in the
magic. It wasn't just a complete screw around gig. No, you had to learn what the consumer was looking for. So you were getting a lot of product. It was educational. It was entertainment rolled into one. And they did it for decades. I luckily was able to get about a 10-year run out of it with a couple other magician friends.
Wow.
Cool.
Well, the auto show opens up to the public starting Saturday the 19th, runs through the 27th. One of the big days is Education Day, which is happening Wednesday the 23rd. There are discounted school price tickets. $13 gets you in, along with a lunch coupon. And then there's pre- and post-show lessons and activities. Last year, there were nearly 4,000 students from more than 70 schools that participated in Education Day. So it's a good thing coming on. Coming up in just a moment, we've got rapid-fire recommendations for you.
This is the Deep Brief.
All right, Becky, let's talk a little bit about what's happening on stage. First of all, are you guys, were you guys skater? I don't mean skater, like we talked about skateboarding skaters. I mean figure skaters. Either of you?
No.
Any good on ice?
No. The only time I've ever come close to being a figure skater is when I had sequins on my tuxedo when I was 12.
For magic?
For ballet. Yes, for magic. What are you talking about? Yes.
He's been a magician a long
Yes.
time.
You have been a magician a long time.
Decades.
Starting January 18th, the 2019 Geico U.S. Figure Skating Championships are happening right here in Detroit. You've got 15 junior and championship level events that are happening at the Little Caesars Arena. And then all the novice and intermediate and juvenile events will take place over at the Detroit Skating Club in Bloomfield Hills. The U.S. Championships last held in Detroit back in 1994. So it's been a while, probably since you had sequins on your tuxedo.
I was a little older than that.
Oh, wow.
Longer, yeah.
You age well.
Thank you. It's the
Was that
nectar.
the,
It's the meads and the ciders.
Magicians don't crack.
Was that the Tanya Harding year?
That might have
The
been. I
Nancy
wasn't here.
Kerrigan?
Yeah, that might have been.
Yeah, that was
Oh.
pretty. I wonder what will happen this time.
Maybe there's a good reason that they don't have it.
Yeah.
U.S. champions will be crowned in ladies, men's, pairs, and ice dance. And this is the final qualifying event to make the U.S. World Figure Skating team. It's estimated to generate more than $18 million in local economic impact.
Wow.
All right, guys, how would you feel if you had a reputation for how bad your work was?
We might have that.
We might have that.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
That might already be the case.
No, but that would not feel good.
It would not feel good. If everybody was like, oh, I know that guy, he's the worst at whatever.
Yeah.
Well, you remember the movie The Disaster Artist? James Franco was
Oh yeah,
in it,
about
came out.
the bad director.
About the bad
Yeah.
director, about Tommy Wiseau. Well, Tommy Wiseau is actually going to be here in the Detroit area.
Ooh,
Friday and
okay.
Saturday night at midnight. The Main Art Theater in Royal Oak is going to show The Room, which is a dark comedy that Wiseau made. He both wrote it and directed it, and he's going to be there in person for Q&A, which I would just think is
That's tough.
Like,
Well, maybe he's just embraced it. Like, I'm the worst at something. That's still a prize.
yeah. Do magicians get heckled ever? Is it like with comedians?
Oh, absolutely. Like,
What-
what
what-
are you doing this for? And stop living in your parents' basement. Get a girlfriend.
What's the worst heckling you've ever gotten?
Wow. I would say the worst heckling came as a kid.
Really?
And you didn't know how to respond. So it's like you're taking hits in the
Oh.
ring and you don't know how to hit back. But as you get older and you just learn, you learn how to shut them down quick.
You've gotten good at hitting back.
I've gotten much better at hitting back.
Yeah.
Not with my fists, though, but like
You
with
got
my mouth.
good
right?
comebacks.
You're
yeah.
insulting people.
Yeah.
You might be good at this next event. Wednesday night, that's going to be tonight by the time you hear this, there is a broasted comedy roast battle that's happening at the Punchline in Southfield. This is that comedy club that's been there for a little over a year, I think, at this point. It's hosted by friend of the podcast, Heather J., and stars a number of local comedians, including Jay Will, Mel Bender, Blackberry, and one of our favorites, Josh Adams, who was recently named the funniest comedian that you've never heard of in the state of Michigan by Thrillist.
Yeah. So they're going to roast people in the audience?
No,
Or
I think
that-
they're roasting each other.
Each other, okay.
Yeah, I think that's the way it works. This is the first time they've ever done this. So I would actually, I think I would go
You'll
check
be at
this
that.
out. Yeah, I definitely
You're
would.
such a groupie of the comedians.
Also, speaking of comedy, Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle has David Koshner, who played Champ Kind in Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy, and Big Tommy's in Novi has Mike Bonner this week.
This is the D.
Detroit.
This is the D.
Brave.
All right, that's it. That is the Wednesday show, second show. Thanks to Nektar Meadery for having us here.
Great
This
host.
is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so fun. Thanks, guys.
We, of course, talked about an awful lot in this podcast today. If you missed any of it, all you have to do is go to our website, thedebriefdetroit.com. You can sign up for the email list there, and we will send you links to everything that we talk about in this show.
Or you can text the word Detroit to 444-999 and sign up that way. Super easy.
All right, Jasen Magic, you got one thing you've got to do before we get out of here. Are you
All
ready
right,
for
let me
this?
put my clothes
Little
back
game.
on.
Here we go. Here's how this works. We want to get some rapid fire recommendations from you. We're going to ask you for something. Just tell us the first thing that comes to your mind. Are you ready?
Got it.
Who is your favorite local TV personality?
Jason Carr.
Why is that?
Why is that? Oh, because he laughs at all my jokes.
Okay, that's legit. He
Yes.
laughs at everyone.
He laughs at everything.
He's always laughing, that guy.
Wow, why do I have
Yeah.
a self-esteem problem? Thanks, Becky.
All right. Now, you grew up in the Metro Detroit area, correct?
Correct.
What was your favorite spot as a kid?
The front yard.
And the front yard in Sterling Heights.
No, I grew up in
Or-
Clinton Township, which
Okay.
is, south side Sterling Heights.
Yeah.
And no, I like the front yard because people would walk down the sidewalk. That was back in the day when people
People
would walk
actually
down
did,
the
yeah,
sidewalk.
yeah.
And I interact with strangers, so that was kind of my thing.
It seems like that was your training ground, perhaps.
That started it, yeah.
Okay.
Where is your favorite venue to perform magic?
My favorite venue, wow, all the bee nectar people are looking at me. What is that thumb movement across your neck? Oh, you're gonna slit my throat. Bee nectar, any day of the week. Check out their meads, their cider, their sharp paring knives. That's a knife? Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Because they're friendly, that's why. 'Cause they're
Exactly.
friendly
Very open and warm.
employees.
Yes. What's next on your Detroit to-do list as far as activities go?
My next, probably get a personality gig on one of the local networks, either TV or radio.
You would like to do TV or radio, really?
I have a face for TV and a voice for radio.
It's a great combination.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Most people have it backwards, but I think
Right.
I have it right side forward.
Normally I ask this question, if you could restore any Detroit building, which one would it be? But since you're a magician, if you could make any Detroit building disappear, which one would it be?
Which one has the IRS in it? Whatever building that is. I'll be like, see you later. That one, bye-bye.
Okay. Besides Jasen Magic, who's the Detroiter whose name everyone should know?
Oh, wow, that's a really good one. Seth, what's your last name?
Wrestler.
That guy.
He's not a Detroiter, though.
That guy.
I'm not
Well,
a
he's
Detroiter. I'm working
now.
on it. I'm
No,
working on
he's
it.
trying.
now.
Not yet. Not yet.
Do you have a favorite Detroit charity that you've worked with over the years?
Oh, yeah, I would have to say it's the Rainbow Connection. The Rainbow Connection does fantastic, I don't even want to say charity work. I'm just going to say world work because they're phenomenal. They help children with life-threatening illnesses get wishes granted in the state of Michigan, and they do phenomenal work. But they're close to my heart. I love them.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jasen Magic.
Yes!
Absolutely fantastic guest. Thank you so much for coming. Jasen, if people want to catch you, where can they see you performing?
In my front yard.
Still in Clinton Township, or?
No.
okay.
I'm at Sterling Heights now. You can catch me performing at venues all over Metro Detroit. The best way to find me is to find me on Facebook or Instagram. Jasen Magic, Jasen Magic. And you can see where I'll be performing publicly and privately.
We also want to say thank you to Mary Stallworth and Way over there with Geisha Girls Pop-Up Sushi. If you would like
Delicious.
sushi, go check them out. You
Well,
can
even
follow
if
them
you
on
think
social
you
media.
don't like sushi.
Even if you don't look, I am looking at that. What is that, an avocado filled with, that looks amazing.
Yeah, that looks good.
Mary, I want one of those.
Yeah. Order it up.
Also, we got to thank everybody here at Nektar Meadery. Just absolutely fantastic. CJ and Joel and Miranda, thank you for everything. Thank you for hosting us.
Yes.
And thank you to all of you. Again, how many
An
of you
audience.
have never been to this tap room before? Let's show of hands. Look at that, about
Wow.
3/4 of people. Thank you so much for being a
Being
live
here.
audience for us. This has been our second show. It's been so
Yeah.
much fun to do.
It's like a big warm hug.
It is,
in
isn't
here.
it? It's
yeah,
nice.
it's great.
All right, well, thank you, everybody. Until next time, Detroit's moving.
Keep up.
The D Brave.
Your guide to Detroit's arts and entertainment scene.